Welcome to Movie Friends. We're your hosts, Seth and Michelle, and today we're talking about John Wick from 2014. Directed by Chad Stahelski, written by Derek Kolstad, cinematography by Jonathan Sela, edited by Elizabeth Ronaldsdottir, composed by Tyler Bates and Joel J. Richard, starring Alfie Allen, Michael Nyqvist, Willem Dafoe, Adrian Palicki, Ian McShane, John Leguizamo, Bridget Moynihan, and back from episode 4 of this podcast, the one, the only, you know him and you love him, Keanu Reeves. Michelle, how are you?
I'm good, Seth. You almost got me there, and I was like, what are we doing here? Gonna say Keanu or what?
There's someone else in this movie.
Yeah. You might have heard of him.
Can you believe it? We're already like 3/4 of the way through August.
No. Also, I can't believe that The Matrix was our 4th movie.
I know. Long time ago. A whole other world.
What the heckles?
Yeah.
That was when I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Yes, right. There was a rough couple of months ahead of you.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Hey, go back and listen to our episode on The Matrix. I think it was the first movie we did that Michelle liked. And it was a good episode.
It was fun.
So what's going on?
I'm sweating. Are you sweating?
I'm not. No, it's pretty nice up
Oh.
here right now.
I mean, it is nice out. It's just like super hot in my office. And then I'm like, oh, you know what I need? Hot coffee.
That's insane.
I know I don't drink cold brew, iced coffee. That's not me. No.
Really? No? No cold coffee?
No.
Wow.
It has
okay.
to be like 120 degrees and I'm in Texas, and that's like the only time I'll drink it.
Wowie zowie. Okay.
Yeah, no.
You ready for my coffee order?
I thought you didn't drink coffee.
I don't.
Oh, so that's your order.
My coffee order is a small frozen coffee from Dunkin' Donuts with coconut.
Wow, that actually sounds very delicious, but
Yeah. It's
yeah.
like the coffee is bitter and like the whatever coconut thing they put in is also bitter. And so it's just like a big bitter drink. But
bitter drink.
I enjoy it. Yeah.
Hey, that's good.
You know, speaking of hot and cold, they say that revenge is a dish best served cold.
I don't really understand that.
I don't get it either.
Do you think it's cold bodies and dead?
I guess so.
Like, here's your flesh. It's cold on a platter.
Right. Like, I mean, who are you serving? Because if you're serving the revenge, are you serving the revenge to the person that you're killing? Because if so, they're not going to be around. Anyway, that's my segue into this movie, John Wick. Good
job.
But I don't know why I did a segue, because before we do that, we got some business we got to take care of. First up,
business.
Well, there's a couple things.
Oh, okay. Let me sit tight and be quiet.
Oh my God. All right, let me put on my my hat, my business hat.
This is a silly episode,
Yeah,
Seth.
I don't know,
It's
man.
silly.
I don't know. First up, we got an email from Ben. You just made a shocked face.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh my God. I said yes, and Siri popped up and was like, "What can I help you with?" And I couldn't hear you.
Okay.
John, it's just a mess of an episode altogether.
First off, we got an email from Ben, and he was responding to our police story episode. He says, MNGA, make Nakes great again.
Yes. Wow. We should make that a shirt.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Chan was hugely influenced by Keaton and Lloyd. I love his speech to the boss, and it feels like such a good knock against capitalism. I can't believe you didn't bring up the scene where he steps in poop and then starts dancing like Michael Jackson.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
such a weird, like, little interesting. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is weird. I did put in my notes like, wow, we're dancing now?
Yeah. Hey, he can do it all. P.S. Jackie Chan songs are a bop. P.S.S. Snake Eyes Vargas. I'm still trying to get that one going.
Vargas. Yeah, we could do it.
P.S.S.S. That half-star review isn't wrong about ACAB also applying to Jackie Chan in this movie. PSSSS. I love Mitch doing ding, ding, ding. I laughed so hard.
I don't even remember that.
That was, I think, when you said that you rated the movie 3 stars and you were like, ding, ding, ding. I don't know. It was funny.
Yeah. Man. So funny.
And then this one has so many S's. I'm just going to say PS to the 7th power. Hardest I've laughed so far on the podcast. If you want to be in our dreams, join the Patreon. Good point, Ben. Patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. $5 a month. Get access to 3 additional shows and a patron-only Discord. And yeah, Michelle and I keep having dreams about people in the Discord. So, if you've ever been
Come
like...
on through. Come on through.
I want to be very closely linked to Seth and Michelle's mind.
Yeah. Come on in.
The other thing we got to talk about is we do have a survey on our website, moviefriendspodcast.com, that we would love if you'd fill out. Because as we're approaching 1 year, we're kind of looking at what we're going to do for next year. And we love input because we know that people are listening. Hey, downloads have been crazy.
Wow. So cool, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of new listeners out there. And so if you want to have some input into what we do, we'd love it if you take the survey. So the other thing we got to announce is we are trying to get some more reviews on Apple iTunes. And so we're going to be doing a Visa...
Apple iTunes.
What did I say?
That's cute, Seth. Apple iTunes.
Okay. All right. Not Apple iTunes. What's it called?
Apple Podcasts.
Oh, yeah. Apple Podcasts. So anyway, we're going to be doing a giveaway for a Visa gift card. The drawing is going to be December 1st. And so if you've already given a review, great. You are in the running. Don't feel like, oh, no, I did this for free. And now, now I'm missing my chance.
What a waste.
Right. What a waste. But anyway, so we're going to do a drawing December 1st. You got to be following us on Twitter or Instagram. It'd be great if you could screenshot your review and send it to us. That way we know who you are. Some people's, Apple iTunes thing is different from their... Right. I don't know who these people are.
What are they winning, though, Seth?
So we're going to draw for a $50 Visa gift card.
$50, y'all.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Seth is rich.
Never mind, $20. Oh, no, that's not true. I'm going to be collecting pop cans and soda bottles.
I'm just kidding.
But, like I said, you got to follow us. Leave us a rating or review. Screenshot it. Send it to us. And if you're international and for some reason Visa doesn't exist where you live, we will figure something else out. But let's cross that bridge once we get there, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I did not mean to call you all baby. You are wonderful adults who listen, hopefully.
Let's move on.
I mean, some kids could listen to this. I don't know. If you're like 12 listening to this, first of all, you shouldn't be watching all these movies, okay?
Why?
Well, okay. I'm not your parent, all right?
Yeah, right.
You know what? Do whatever you want. Who cares?
Right. If you're 12, let us know. What's your favorite movie?
Ooh. If someone was 12 listening to this, they would have been born in 2011.
Oh, my God.
Right? And so like the movies of their childhood would have been like 2016, 17. They were itty bitty babies during like a pretty wild time of humanity, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, let's talk about another wild time of humanity. 2014, John Wick.
Crazy time.
Before Michelle watches a movie for the first time, she records her thoughts. So let's go to that real quick.
John Wick. This might be one I'm very much looking forward to because Mrs. Vargas is joining and she loves action movies. So this is going to be fun. And also, I've been in the bathhouse where I hope the first one shows. Let's do this.
Okay, so 2 main things. 1, yes, we are talking to my mom about John Wick today. And 2, You went to the bathhouse.
I did go to the bathhouse.
And you did not know previously that this was the bathhouse.
How would I know that?
I don't know. You could be like, oh, I want to go to all these cool movie locations. That seems like a you thing.
That totally is a you. Totally is a you thing. That totally is a me thing. But I would really have to know the movie first.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Got it. John Wick was not on the Great Movie Ride at Disney.
It wasn't, unfortunately. But if it was, I would have known. You know, I also was thinking about my other rides I've been on. I've been on the Fast and Furious ride in Universal.
Whoa.
So that's how I know that series.
Okay. Yeah. Should Michelle and I, as a Patreon exclusive, do every Fast and the Furious movie? Let us know. I don't want to, but hey.
Vote no.
So before we go into the conversation that we had with my mom, you watched this for the first time. You said that you were looking forward to it. How did you feel on the other side of things?
I mean, again, this isn't my genre, but I think it did a good job. Mm-hmm. I wasn't bored.
Sure.
So that's saying a lot, I think.
How did you feel about the new dog?
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So like the whole new dog situation, I was like, are you telling me he's just going into a shelter, like breaking in, essentially?
Yeah.
No one's there to stop him.
I mean, who can stop him?
Sure, but you're breaking in. I'm all for you rescuing the dog. I was like more caught up in the logistics than I probably should have been there for the heart of it.
Sure.
But I was very happy that he got a new dog.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. But also, I'm like, how'd you break in? Nobody's there. What made you pick that one? You know.
Well, perhaps he thought I should get a dog that can like fight back a little.
Like defend themselves. Yeah. I mean, a dog couldn't defend themselves against like a gun or a kick.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So the conversation that we're going to go to was previously recorded. And there was a thought that I had after. It was kind of cool, actually, like talking about the movie and then like having a little bit of time in between. Because normally when we talk, it's like, oh, I forgot to mention this, or I didn't think about that. It's like, too late. Episode goes out. Who cares? But I did have a thought, which was like, you know, we talk about like, is what he does justified? And like, why does he do what he does? And a lot of people who make fun of this movie are like, oh, it's very ridiculous that he does all this stuff just over a dog, right? And we talk about how it's not just a dog. So here's my question. John lives by like this like assassin code, right? And he's very controlled, and even though he's given up his job as a hitman dude, he still lives by this code, right? So when his wife is taken from him, he has like nowhere to like take his anger out, and he's very sad, clearly. And part of sadness can be anger, you know, like John is very much going through like the stages of grief, right? So do you think when the dog is killed and his car is stolen, it's like, okay, here's my opportunity, and it might seem outlandish that he's going through all this for his dog, but really he's going through all of this for his wife and like the life that was taken from him, because you can't go out and shoot cancer, you know? No.
I mean, is it outlandish? I don't think it's outlandish. Like, this is the catalyst.
You would do this for your cat?
No, but like if you're coming from someone who already has this history, right? And also, so the dog is killed, the car is taken. Not only that, but it's from people you used to work with.
Right.
So, like, you messed with the wrong motherfucker, you know? I mean, I think it's totally justified, and it makes sense of why he popped. Like, this was the catalyst.
Right.
Yeah. This wasn't just like a stranger off the street. And it's like, because they essentially, like, Vigo didn't know his son did this because he wouldn't have messed with John Wick.
Right.
So, yeah. It's not, like, Theon got what he was coming to him.
Theon.
That's what, yeah. I know, I'm sorry. I should use his character name, but that's all I see is Theon.
All right. So anyway, let's get into the discussion that we had with my mom. The audio might be a little bit different because she is not a podcaster. And so if it sounds different from how we're talking right now, That's why. Anyway, all right, let's get into that.
Are there any rules that I have to follow? You know, I'm a rule follower.
No, always feel free to interrupt. You know, like if everyone waits their turn, it doesn't really feel like a conversation.
Can I move this so I can see Michelle? I was just trying to move where I can see myself because I can't see Michelle. I don't think so.
You can't see Michelle?
No, it's like right on top of her glasses. Well, I know what your face looks like, so I'll put it over you.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Okay, don't be alarmed if I take off my shirt.
We welcome it.
Are we recording? Is this recorded for posterity?
Yeah.
It'll be blackmail.
Well, it's for posterity only because it's not usable. So
I don't know how to take that.
Hey, this is Seth, as you just heard me say, and as always, I'm joined by Michelle.
Hello.
And today we're joined by my mom, Merinell.
Hello. Hello.
Do you want to be Merinell or Mickey?
Merinell. It's more mysterious.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think Mickey's mysterious, but I like both.
So when we decided to do action movies, neither Michelle nor I really love action movies.
Too bad.
Yeah. But I know that you really love action movies, and in particular, you really love John Wick. And so I said to Michelle, there's no way we can do this and not have some input from you. And so thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So
I have to say, though, Fast and Furious runs a close second.
Well,
I'm an action film girl.
Gosh. When we do that, we have to have you back on because
See, you're saying when we do that as if we would ever cover the Fast and the Furious movies.
Ironically, we would cover it, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the best one.
Yeah, you could be the expert.
The best one to do.
Okay, what's the best one?
Not right now.
Oh,
I'm holding that for later. Hey, I can't give all my secrets out.
Why is everything got to be mysterious right now?
I don't know.
I like it.
Okay.
It's good.
So do you remember, like, when you first saw John Wick, did you see this in theaters?
I don't remember. But all I remember is that I was fascinated because they use so many different fight techniques that I had never seen in any other action film. And I haven't seen every action film, obviously, but for the ones that I've seen, it was very unique.
And have you seen all of them at this point?
Yes.
You watched number 4?
Yes, in theater.
All right.
I think I think I saw the last 3 in theater. I think I've seen all of them in theater. I just don't know positively.
Sure. And so do you agree with most people that the movies like get better and better and better?
Yeah. 4 was a lot.
Yeah, okay.
And that's saying a lot after seeing 1, 2, and 3. But
Michelle, do you think that 1 was a lot?
I don't know. I'm still processing. Like, to me, since there's 4 of them, I would just assume that they just keep getting worse because how many times are we going to do the same thing?
Right.
It's not, though.
Yeah, apparently.
Every story is different, but it might have been a lot for me because I watched number 3 with my daughter-in-law and grandson and then went directly to the theater and watched number 4. So it was 3 and then 4.
Whoa.
It was like hors d'oeuvres with a side of hors d'oeuvres. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
But still very good.
So Michelle just watched the movie for the first time.
Yeah.
What did you... I got one main text from you.
What was it? I don't even remember at this point.
About the dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A warning would
that
have
was rough.
been nice, Seth.
That was rough.
I know, but it's like, it's hard to,
I know.
because it's not just like, oh, by the way, a random dog gets killed. It's like the thing that
Yeah.
makes the movie happen.
I think what surprised me the most about the dog, like I understand that the vice for storytelling to like really like let's fire him up and add to it, but the fact that you could see blurred in the background this dog get hit kind of rubbed me. That like
Yeah.
really affected me, and then putting the dead dog next to him. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like screaming.
I would imagine that when they actually filmed it, the guy was like playing with the dog.
Sure. Right.
And they just
yeah.
And then they add the music and the sound and
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I'm sure they
I
did.
thought they just really killed the dog.
Seth.
Then you don't know Keanu Reeves at all.
That's true.
I've actually been reading some stuff about him in the last few days.
Wow, you learned to read for this?
Don't make me call you your full name.
Okay, I won't.
Please do. What is the full name?
But everything I read, anybody that knew him said he's the nicest guy in Hollywood. He's the nicest guy you ever want to meet. I'll say more about that later. But yeah, so trust me, there was no harming the dog.
Oh,
Right.
right. And people do say that. People love Keanu Reeves. That's all I ever hear is that he's the nicest guy ever.
Yeah, and I was very excited. I mean, there are still, directors that we haven't talked about that it's like crazy that, we haven't done like a Kubrick yet, or we haven't done, but as far as like American stars, I was very excited to talk about Keanu Reeves because he has such a strange filmography, and Keanu has been up and down and up and down like 4 times throughout his career.
Yeah.
To where it's like he's like the biggest star on the planet and everyone's like, we love Keanu. And then he'll do like a few movies that aren't very good and everyone's like, Keanu is done. He's over.
Yeah. He's terrible.
And then he comes back and that he continues to.
But strangely, some of the movies that he got a lot of guff for when he first, when they were first released, have become loved over time.
Sure, yeah. And it's like, it's a good testament to like how much he loves making movies and how much he loves acting that he just he's made enough money over and over again to be like, I'm done with this and I'm done with, the public. And
I think I read that the money from maybe The Matrix, he gave 75% of his check to charity.
Wow.
Yeah, he gives a lot of money away. And another thing that he has done is he has adjusted his salary so that like stunt workers get paid more or co-stars get paid more.
That's cool.
That's great.
It appears that he doesn't care too much about making money, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
And for someone who like has, again, like he's had all these ups and downs, like he's had times where he had tons of money and times where he had like no money. I think that that's a better mindset to be in than people who have all this money and then lose it and then, their life is over. So,
yeah.
So I also wanted to bring up growing up, maybe your favorite movie. I don't know. It's hard to say, but my perception of what your favorite movie as a kid was Speed with Keanu Reeves.
Well, I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I thought you were going to say like Braveheart or something.
I know that you were into Braveheart.
I love
and Lethal Weapon,
war movies and action movies. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I think? I wonder about that. Why do I like these so much? And then I think any action movie there's always something terrible that happens that causes the action. And I think I probably look at it and say, my life isn't so bad after.
right.
No one came and like killed all my family and burned the house down.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Not yet.
No,
Hey.
don't say that.
Maybe after this. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
Never know.
this movie was originally pitched as an old man with an old dog.
Ooh.
And so it was supposed to be like a much older movie star, and the character had been retired for like a long, long time.
Was his
Oh,
wife
okay.
still passed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they kill his dog, which is like his companion. And so that the movie was originally called Scorn.
No.
Which is just like right,
No.
exactly. You hear that.
That
It's
would
like,
be
no.
a PR nightmare.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of like a generic
Wasn't that Michael
action
Scott's
movie.
Or was
Michael
it
Scarn.
Scarn? That's right. Michael
Yeah.
Scarn.
Scarn and scorn.
Right. So it was like he was supposed to be like, it's like he was scorned.
Right.
And so Keanu comes on and they change it to be more suited to like his age.
Right.
And instead of it being like an old dog, it's like a brand new dog.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, like to justify or like make sense of the amount of violence that he's about to inflict on the world, it has to be really extreme.
Yeah.
Like the thing that he's getting
Right.
revenge for has to be like really,
Well,
really high.
it's not only a puppy that he's been learning to live with and take care of and everything, but it's the last gift his wife gave.
Right.
I think that's the more important part.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the last thing my wife gave me, and they took it from me.
Yeah.
Right.
And not only that, they stole my car.
Right. Exactly.
Which was a Mustang, and I would probably go after somebody if they took my Mustang.
Yeah.
Don't tell that about me, Michelle.
I got it. Secret.
Yeah. No one will hear this. Don't worry. No one. Yeah. And like, yeah, it's definitely not just the dog. It's like his wife was a way out of his old life, and then he loses his wife. And so
Right.
she thinks of a way to like
he's
extend
still grieving.
that.
Right.
He's really grieving.
Yeah.
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 And then, so it's like kicking a guy when he's down. He's
Right.
already grieving. Now he has this gift from his wife that he thinks will give him a little bit of peace. And then they take that from him.
Yeah.
Well, he says to Viggo, which I just kept thinking of Viggo Mortensen. Can you imagine if they had Viggo Mortensen playing
Well,
Viggo in this
history
movie?
of violence.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle,
So
have
that
you
would
seen
make
History of
sense.
Violence?
Yes.
Oh. No,
That's
I asked
great.
Michelle. Yeah, that's yeah, very
No,
brutal.
she wouldn't watch
No.
that. You wouldn't watch that,
No.
Michelle. No.
Don't tell
watch
her
it.
what she would.
She knows.
watch.
She knows.
Okay.
I'm not watching
We
it.
all know.
We all know.
Anybody that listens,
right.
we know.
They all know. The people know.
Michelle would be like a history
Go
of
Shrek.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I just had to say that for Seth's benefit.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I really benefited from it. But anyway, John says later, he says
To Viggo.
to Viggo, he's like, that was like, I felt like I had like hope, right? Like it was like a
Yeah.
small thing of hope.
Yeah.
And he says, he took that from me. He stole that from me. He killed that from me.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like, if that's true, John, I don't know, like if he truly has no hope, I don't know that he's like trying to make it through tonight. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's just trying to kill everybody and like just get revenge.
Okay. Here's where I have to say this. He
Okay.
never kills anyone innocent. In all four. No,
well,
No. Because all the people are associated with, criminal organizations that just take people out at a whim, do all this damage to society. And everyone that he kills are either guilty of something or they protect people that are guilty of crimes. So
Yeah. And also this is based off a comic book, right? John Wick?
no,
The story
they made comic adaptations after.
after.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
to me,
Nope, this is
watching this felt
its own thing.
so much like a comic book.
Oh yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing I read was, and I watching the first one over again, I realized, yes, that's very true, is that the fighting scenes are choreographed almost like dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll see him, he'll move a certain way, and like he'll go this way, and then he'll swipe back, and and do some kind of a flip. And it really, if you watch it with that in mind, you can see the choreography. And I know that they choreograph fight scenes, but this was almost like a dance.
Yeah. He has like his like special suit
Mm-hmm.
that he wears to
Oh,
go
yeah.
kill
He
him.
has to, though. You have to have
He
a
has
special
a
suit.
secret name. You
I
know,
said to
like
your
Baba
dad, I
Yaga
said to
is
your
like
dad,
his like
most
superhero
people,
name.
Yeah.
yeah, most people would, if they're going out to fight, they're going to put on their, their jeans, their t-shirt, sneakers. He's in dress shoes doing all this stuff, and a suit and tie.
Yep.
Quick pause. Can you put on a light, any type of light near you? Maybe just not the one right behind you in the fan, because you are like slowly getting darker and darker.
I know,
and
just
darker.
becoming one with darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Michelle. Wow. That's the first time I've ever been told that.
Just visually, obviously.
Maybe we
Hold
should
on.
have a show.
These cords, your dad's got me all twisted up with these cords. Is that a little more light?
Yeah.
I can
It
do
is
more.
10% more
Is that
light,
more?
Yes.
You guys just, Michelle needed a really good laugh, so this is why you asked me to come.
She does. That's true. She does not laugh much with me.
Oh,
I call-
stop, Seth.
Ma, so if you lean it on something, just put something in front of it.
All right.
Like, just put something in front of it.
Now I have tears.
By the way, Michelle,
This
we
is
love
so
to listen to you on the podcast.
Seth, we have to make this a reel.
You're our favorite part. Even though we're very proud of Seth.
I'm very proud of
all
Seth,
his
too.
research.
She can't
I
hear
know.
us. She doesn't have her headphones on.
I'm crying. This is so funny.
Don't wet your pants, Michelle.
Oh my god. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay. So talking about the choreography, one of the reasons why this movie felt like so fresh and like crazy and different from other action movies that came out was the director was a stunt double.
Yes, I read that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I think that there were two directors and only one of them got like a credit. But
He was
both of them.
He was a stuntman himself.
Yeah.
Then he became the choreographer for movies, for stunts.
Yep.
And then he became a director.
Yeah. And Keanu knew him because he was his stunt double in The Matrix.
Whoa. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
And
very
so,
cool.
yeah, like the two kind of were like, all right, let's make this movie together and let's make it, because Keanu in real life actually knows martial arts. He actually is very skilled with shooting. He does what's called run and gun competitions, where like the shooting that Michelle and I used to facilitate is like stationary shooting. This is like literally like moving through a, what do you call those things?
Like a maze?
Yeah, but like an obstacle course.
Obstacle course.
Yeah, like we're with targets, and so you like run behind one thing, shoot target over here, run.
Wow,
you know,
it's like laser.
It's very. You can find all these videos online of Keanu.
Right.
It's very impressive.
That's cool.
And so
I heard
they kind of combined their forces and made this movie, and everyone was like, "This is the craziest movie ever." And we just did Jackie Chan's Police Story, and it was the same thing. And that was like another like high watermark for action movies because stuntmen were making the movie.
Right. I heard an interview with the guys that he trained with for John Wick. They said hardest worker ever that we've worked with. We've worked with a lot of celebrities. He's the hardest working one. The one guy said, yep, first guy here, works the hardest. We say, we'll give you a break. Nope, keep going. 8 hours of training,
Wow.
Yeah.
getting punched and kicked and all this stuff. And then they said, and last guy to leave at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
they couldn't say enough good about him.
Wow. So out of all of the John Wicks, which one do you think is your favorite?
I don't know, because you know what? I like the character.
Just John Wick himself, you like?
Yeah. So it's, to me, it's just a further story about the same,
And like,
which I guess is what a sequel
yeah,
is.
but like as they go on, right? And you said that they
Mhm.
get better, or people say they get better. Is this like setting up that he's now back in the job? Like this is like he's back in his workforce, so to speak.
I don't think I should
Oh.
say that, because if somebody hasn't seen them,
Yeah.
that's kind of a spoiler.
I guess that's true. I mean, I would
thing.
assume so, because like to me it seems like he's not done. Because like what else is he going to do? What else does he have to live for? I don't know. I think this work kind of drives him as much as maybe. And do we learn why he got out of retirement in the other ones?
Well, yeah, he got. Oh, you mean why he retired in the first
was
place?
it from his wife?
Yes, for his wife. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a theory about why he was so good at the first one. Because do you know that he and his girlfriend lost a baby in childbirth, and then 2 years later, it kind of tore their relationship apart, but they started getting back together. And after they got back together, she was in a bad car accident and died.
Wow.
So I think that that's why he came into this movie, and you could see he was grieving. It was like he wasn't acting. He was still grieving.
Oh my gosh.
And so that I like to know. Well, when I watch sports, I like to know some of the background of the players. You know, that this guy has a kid with some, I like to know that. And then I root for them more, because I think that that's part of, I mean, even if people don't know that, they can see that he's very private, very, he's not in the tabloids, because he keeps himself. And people have said, that being around him, they can see that he's sad.
Aww.
Like, he's very nice, but he's also very sad.
Just like me.
He's going to cut that out.
No, you got to keep that in.
Maybe
so
I will.
Good.
Maybe not. So I know that you like action movies, but like, how did you get into movies? Like, did you watch a lot as a kid, or?
When I was a kid, we were very poor. We didn't have a TV for a long time, and then somebody gave us their kind of broken TV. So so it was kind of on again, off again, and all I watched was Westerns. I just watched,
Wow.
a lot of horse shows, Flicka, and all these shows like that. That's what I watched. I think the first movie I ever saw, I came home. I was the baby, so by the time I was 11, I was the only one in the house.
Wow.
My other siblings had married and were gone. So I think I might have been 12, and I came home and put on the TV, and Jack the Ripper was on, and I was very scared. And I sat, and I remember we had a wood stove with a poker, and I remember I got the poker and sat with my back in the corner of the couch and held onto the poker.
Oh my gosh!
Because I was home alone, nobody was there, and the movie really scared me. And it was a very old movie. It didn't really show anything gory or anything like that. You just knew what was going on, but you didn't really see anything.
Wow.
But I think the first movie I ever went to, and I had to look up the details today. We had the same teacher for when I was a sophomore. She was my homeroom teacher, and through high school, she was my English teacher and my French teacher. When Romeo and Juliet came out in 1968, it was very controversial. And somehow, I don't know how she convinced the school to let her take us, but she took her French classes. So that was my grade. I think I must have been 14. And I can't imagine. My mom must have not known anything about it. Well, we didn't have, there weren't movie ads on TV then. They didn't show trailers on TV. So I must have been a freshman. So she took the freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior French classes to the theater to see Romeo and Juliet. And I think that was my first one at the theater.
Wow. What'd you think?
I mean, it was beautiful the way they shot it, and the costumes, and it was beautiful. I probably had my eyes closed part of the time. I was a very naive kid, so probably wasn't. And then the next one I remember going to, I think I went as on a double date, and we saw Love Story, and that was 1970. Wow! And of course, that was very sad and crying.
Well. I haven't seen it, so.
Seti, anybody that knows Love Story or has ever heard of it knows that it's very sad.
I don't know that. It's called Love Story. Why would it be sad?
Well, we can assume.
Love is sad.
Love isn't sad. What are you talking about? Well, I'll check out
Romeo
Love Story.
and Juliet, it was certainly sad.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just curious, because you're my mom. Like, you didn't watch movies growing up, so why did you let us watch movies growing up?
I'm trying to remember when I really did start watching, because I was always so busy when I was a kid. I always had multiple jobs and school and babysitting, and so I didn't really watch much TV. We watched Ben Casey, which was a hospital series, the predecessor of Grey's Anatomy, and we watched it was a detective. He was Private Eye. I can see his face, but I cannot think of what the name is. Anyway,
okay.
So that's what we watched. We watched stuff like that. We didn't really watch movies, and I don't know how often they showed movies back then.
Right.
That's the early 60s. I don't know.
Yeah, they hadn't been invented yet.
Yes, they were set. Duck Soup had already come out.
Yeah, great.
I don't know. I just like a lot of movies. I love Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why, I think most of my favorite movies are movies that are made for middle school kids, teenagers. No, seriously, think about it. Heavyweights, Goonies, 10 Things I Hate About You. What else?
Yeah.
Breakfast Club.
My favorite genre. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, you guys should start a show called Mitch and Mick.
Yeah.
No, she has seen me in action.
I think it's great. I think it's great.
You are not like a violent, angry person.
No.
And so
I don't even like to shout.
Wow.
No, really. When I get mad, I get quiet.
Oh.
Well, child me maybe could refute that.
Well, listen, 6 boys would make anybody yell, okay?
Absolutely. I have 2 and I'm losing my mind. But how do you, does the violence bother you, or is it just separate and you're this is fake?
Yeah, I kind of squint.
Oh, so you just don't watch it?
No, I see it. I see it. And sometimes I kind of scold myself. Maybe you should be watching this.
Sure.
But, what's more fun than seeing 2 muscle cars drag a huge bank vault down a bridge at breakneck speed? Sure.
I can.
That's from
I can
Fast
think
and
of a lot
Furious,
of
Michelle. If you don't know,
I figured context clues.
I can think of a lot of things I would rather watch than that. But
Yeah, but it was a drug cartel's money, so
So is that? Do you think like you can watch it because you can justify like, well, these things are happening to bad people, or
Yeah, I think so. I think so because I don't like horror movies where innocent people get hurt or
Yeah.
killed or
Yeah,
whatever.
just kill to kill. There has to be some like reasoning behind it.
Speaking of which, my first horror movie ever was probably, well, they say maybe the scariest one ever made. You know what it is, Seth? I went to a drive-in movie and watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that was scary. That was scary. And what made it even scarier, I went to work the next day. I worked at a dairy store, and this old junky car pulled up front. A family got out. The one guy had a big scar on the side of his face, and they looked really scary. And I had to wait on them, and oh my gosh, this is the guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that would creep me out.
I was like, horror lives among us.
It's real.
Oh my gosh.
It is. Okay, that's it.
So we already talked about Keanu Reeves and how awesome he is. Very quick shout out to John Leguizamo as the dude who runs the garage that slaps.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah, he's really cool. And
I think he carries through the series too.
Ooh.
oh yeah. So I have
think so.
only seen the first John Wick.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's great, but I have not continued with the series yet. I plan on it, but yeah. And then we have Alfie Allen as the snot-nosed brat
Theon.
kid. Yeah, Theon
So
Greyjoy from
yeah.
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is my life lesson.
Okay.
If you raise your children to be disrespectful and arrogant and rich and privileged and what's the other word?
White.
And think you're better than everyone else. That's what's going to happen. Like people are not going to like them. People are not going to put up with them. One day they're going to meet someone that might not kill them with a pencil, but but fire them.
Yeah.
Leave them,
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
So life lesson: raise your kids to be respectful and not think they're better than everyone else.
Well, you failed with me. We've also got Lance Reddick, who passed away recently, and
I know
he was like the dude who showed up in everything, and it was like, oh man, he's about to tell us something horrible has happened, or like he's going to give us the lowdown on what's going on. I loved him. He was great, and he's great in this as the manager of the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course Michael Nyqvist as Vigo, who I think is good. Whenever you're doing like Russian, it can be a little dicey.
Yeah.
But I feel
the
like
owner,
it's good.
The owner of the hotel.
Yeah, Ian McShane, Winston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also William Dafoe.
Yes. So Willem Dafoe.
Yes.
We haven't spoken about him, I think, on the entire show. I don't know if we've done.
No,
I feel
like we definitely have because I'm like, he just plays creepy so well. Oh no. Maybe was it William Dafoe? Like this whole time watching this movie.
Oh no, wait. Oh, I
was like, is he Dafoe? Is he DeFriend? I thought that was funny, guys.
Yeah.
I cracked up when I said that.
Very good, Michelle.
We did cover him. I'm sorry, in Grand Budapest Hotel, where he plays like a serial killer, like
He's
hitman type guy who throws a cat out the window.
But isn't he also the guy that? Oh, poor Michelle. That must have been hard for you to watch. Isn't he the guy that did the music video that was so funny? William Dafoe. Oh, no, Christopher Walken.
Oh,
yeah, you think of Christopher
yes.
Walken.
Sorry. They're kind of
They got the same
twins.
vibe. They have a similar vibe. Yeah.
They do. So, yeah, Michelle, you were like confused as to like his motivation
wait.
like what?
I have to shout out, continuing your roll call, is Adrian Palicki.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
Miss Perkins. because she's
Miss
from
Perkins.
Friday Night
Ooh.
Lights, and she's one of my favorite characters on
Right.
Friday Night Lights, and she's amazing.
Whenever
She
we
played
watch a movie,
bad.
Michelle will text me like, "Oh my gosh, this person, they were in this like random TV show," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I would
It's not
never.
random to her.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, continue, Seth. I just had to shout her out.
So for Marcus Willem Dafoe, were you confused about like his motivation or
Yeah,
like?
I'm like, do we trust you? Do we not? We'll see the whole time. I don't know. He just gives off
Yeah.
we can't trust
I
him.
had the same feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same thing of
Yeah.
like, what are we doing
Right.
here? There's this really interesting world here that I know gets expanded like way further in the other movies, but like there's like the hotel and like gold coins
Yeah, the currency.
and stuff and you know they have like code, which like you know all assassin and hitman movies there's some code and some culture to it, but I love movies that you kind of come into a story already in progress. There are little things about the world that aren't explained to you and you can
Right.
like grasp them. It's like, okay, I get it, but you don't need a character to be like, oh, by the way, don't forget your golden coin. And remember, this is what it does and this is what it means. And then I like when they can trust us to just be like, okay, I got it. I'm moving on,
Right.
you know, and that's,
Yeah.
I really appreciate that about this because at its core, this is just a revenge movie. There are so many revenge movies. It's, you know, it's an
Right.
easy thing to do because you just show us something bad and then you show us that person killing people and we're like, yeah, good for you, man. But John Wick, he doesn't have any like resolution. Like when he kills the son, Yosef or
Joseph.
yeah, he's not like, he doesn't like dangle him over a bridge and like yell at him, or he just shoots him and that's it. It's over, you know? And it feels like with John Wick, they front load the movie. Like these are his motivations. This is why he's doing what he's doing. So that when he does it, we don't need like you know, a briefing
An
as
explanation.
it's happening. Right. It's like, I know why it's happening. They killed his dog. I was there. It was messed up.
Well, they killed his dog on top of his
and the
wife
car
dying.
situation
Right.
too.
Right.
And they
So.
took his car.
So
Never take a guy's car.
the dog poop in this movie.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, that was so weird.
I don't know if that
no,
came out
it
of nowhere.
didn't, because I did make a note of that. And also I was like, wow, this dog is housebroken already? That's impressive.
Yeah. So it was fake.
Oh.
I figured that she had them house train the puppy before they brought.
I like that.
Right, because the dog is definitely
because
coming,
the
like,
dog was asking to go out.
Yeah,
this is a smart beagle, 13-inch, by the way. I'm assuming beagles come in two. Beagles, they come in two sizes, 13-inch and 15-inch. I think it was a 13-incher. Anyway,
we had a beagle. They never stopped.
Well, like Subway.
This is the height of beagles. Anyway.
Oh, it's the height, not the length?
No, it's the height.
The height.
Like 13-inch and 15-inch.
So if I wanted to make like a really sad amusement park for dogs, I would just make every roller coaster be like 15 inches or higher you can ride.
Well, then the big dogs would attend.
And all the beagles would be sad.
Well, the 15-inchers could go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. 15 and
There
a
you
half
go.
inch. No more. I mean, no less.
Right.
Yeah, so the poop was fake.
Okay.
And instead of just using like a prop, they had it CGI'd, and it cost like $5,000.
Why?
Come on.
To pay someone to do
What was the point of that?
I
They
guess
could have paid.
I
They
guess
could have
it.
paid a
I
baker
know.
to just make it out of brownies.
I guess it costs less money than like having the entire crew wait around for a dog
Just
to poop.
get fake poop. So
Hey,
easy to make. I used to. Never mind. I'm not going to tell that story.
Wait. I'm sorry. Keep going.
It's really gross. So it's not. Okay.
ahead.
In high school, Nick, my friend Nick and I, we would like smush up brownies and Cheez-Its, and then we'd roll it in a Ziploc and we'd throw it on the floor and creep people out. They would think there was a turd on the
I did that at summer camp when I was actually a counselor.
Yeah.
We took brownies and like rolled it up and made it really oily. And then we put it on a toilet seat.
Ooh.
And we sprayed it with water. And so what we did was we had one of our youngest kids in our cabin go next door and be like, can I use your guys' bathroom? Someone's in the shower. I really got to go. I really got to go. And so he like planted it, and like we were like, you got to plant it and then just run out, like make a beeline, like
Get out.
run out, you know? And this was a very involved prank. Okay. We had someone else from our cabin like already in there, and I think that like they were like recording on their phone or something like that. And so, you know, young kid leaves, everyone goes about their business, and then someone goes into the bathroom a few minutes later and they're like, oh my God, that kid pooped on the toilet. Oh, and everyone's like freaking out. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was a thing. I used to like leave it on Sam's bed, but then one time I made it, like I pre-made it and then left it in my boyfriend's freezer, and then his dad opened it and I was like, oh, that's my fake poop.
That's pretty great.
Oh.
Well, hey, maybe you should get into Hollywood.
Hey, listen, but that's what I'm saying. They didn't have to spend $5,000 on CGI poop.
Well, just tell them $4,000.
That's it. Brownies and cheeses.
$4,000.
Say for $2,500, I'll make you fake poop.
Exactly.
So did you guys? So okay, like I didn't even really know, Michelle. Like, how do you feel about this movie?
To me,
beyond the dog.
no. Yeah, the movie is just like pew pew, vroom vroom. That's this movie. It's a lot of pew pew and vroom vrooms.
Did it feel like different from other movies, or were you just like, eh?
I mean, it's definitely. I feel like we're exploring a lot with Action Month. Like but I think there's parts I appreciated about it. I think also like we keep saying like action's not my genre, so. But I think for an action film, this is pretty good. I mean, it looks great. So, yeah.
A lot of the lesser seen characters were. I really like when the cleaner comes in.
Yeah.
And the cop comes to the door. Hey, John. Hey, I had a noise complaint.
Right.
You back to work?
Yeah.
And then he looks like this and he goes, okay, I'll just let you go.
That was pretty great.
Meanwhile, John's got blood down the side of his face.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, John, I'll see you later. Just walked away. But, and also the doctor that stitched him up. Yeah, so some of those characters I thought were good in their own right.
Is the cleaning crew, do they carry on throughout the other movies? Because they're pretty great. Like,
that's a good question. I don't remember.
That would be good, though. I appreciated that service.
I don't remember.
That's good.
Is that what you would want to be in this world?
No.
Michelle would not want to. She wouldn't want to saran wrap bodies.
I mean, I'm just saying you can either be that, or you can be like John Leguizamo, Chop Shop. You can be Assassin Hotel.
Maybe I'd be Assassin Hotel, concierge. I could,
yeah.
I'll check you in, make sure you're, we'll send up some things you need.
And the number one rule: no business conducted on the premises.
Right.
But your Miss
Perkins,
what's it called? She broke that rule.
She was hoping to get some.
Yep.
Yeah.
$2 million. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Make me go crazy.
It's a lot of cheddar.
Sure is. And what do you think of the bathhouse scene? Are we going to talk about that?
Sure.
I went in that. I dipped in those pools.
Right. Okay. So when we said we were going to do John Wick, Michelle.
Don't make it weird.
No,
or
of course
anything,
not.
Michelle.
Never me. Never.
Michelle was like, "Oh well, I've been to the John Wick bathhouse," and I was like, every time I turn around, Michelle is telling me about like a personal connection in her life to movies. And then she'll also be like, but, I'm not really a movie guy.
Not.
I've just, been in the John
Well,
Wick
I didn't go for
bathhouse.
John Wick. I went for a bachelorette, and it turned out John Wick was filmed there. And then when
Oh.
I'm like sitting in the pool, and I'm like, I wonder what they did in here, because I didn't know anything about John Wick. So what do I know?
And then you watched it and you're like, oh.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was just
pew.
pew.
Right.
Yeah.
Did they have like a big Keanu Reeves like standee?
I forgot how we knew. There's definitely a sign, but again, like, it's not a club either. So it's just the bathhouse.
Sure.
And then when they enter the club, that must have been a different location. Yeah.
Is there anything that anybody wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about?
Yes, and I can't remember what it was.
Oh my gosh.
I had it. It was right here. And then you said something else.
Well, this is like, doesn't have anything to really do with it, but I just never can take the Allstate guy seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, Mayhem. We said maybe that's how he got the commercial.
Yeah.
Right.
I just can't take him seriously.
He was also on 30 Rock.
Yes, he was. Oh my God, he was so bad.
But was he Mayhem? He was definitely Mayhem in that room.
He was movie. Like, he kind of was. He's like one of Liz's boyfriends, and he's
awful.
He's definitely like verbally abusive, but like in a funny way.
Yeah, he's gross. Gross.
He'll like walk in the room and be like, "What's up, dummy?" Yeah. He's not a good guy. He's very much not a good guy in the.
Yeah, so he earned the Mayhem name.
Really quickly, we had told our patrons in our patron only Discord, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast, $5 a month, you get access to 3 additional shows and a secret Discord.
What?
Anyway, so I had asked them if they had any questions for you because they knew that we were recording with you. So Felicia, who I found out we've been saying her name wrong for literally almost a year.
That's awful, Seth.
I know. I found out about it. And so it is corrected.
So
Felicia,
it's like Alicia
Felicia.
Silverstone, but with an F. Felicia.
Felicia Silver Maroni.
Got it. Oh my God.
Silver Noodle.
Felicia. Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
So she said, no question per se, but let her know that she's a true hero for raising 8 children. I have 1, and I'm fighting for my life. And then she said, I salute her.
Poor Felicia. Thank you.
Ben said, who's her favorite kid?
Ooh.
I don't have a favorite kid. I love you all equally.
We know that's not true. By the way, the amount of love and favorite, that's 2 different things. Desert Island, you have to be stranded with one of your kids for both entertainment and survival. Who are you picking?
Ooh.
Entertainment and survival? Yeah. I think that would have to be
the best all-around person.
2 kids.
No. Oh, wow.
I don't know,
None of us possess
I can't do that.
both qualities.
I will not be back.
Yeah, this is cruel,
corner.
Seth.
You guys always try to do this to me.
All right, I'm just going to posit me then. I'm going to put
Seth,
myself
do you think you're the favorite? Do you collectively?
No,
do
I
you
know
kids
I'm not the favorite.
Feel that someone's the favorite?
No, we know who the favorite is. Yeah.
It's not true.
But it is true. It's Noah.
But Seth.
Okay. Jean said, what was the first action movie that she saw that made her love action movies?
Great question.
Listen, I'm 69 years old. How am I supposed to remember?
Hey,
I don't know. I loved Mel Gibson. Help me, Seth.
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. I love that series. The other, Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard.
I'm a big Bruce Willis fan.
Never saw any of those.
There again, he was protecting his family. I think those are my first real, wow, I love action.
Isn't Die Hard the one that they always say is a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. It is a Christmas
movie. See, we could watch that at Christmas, though. I've never seen it.
That would be controversial.
Why?
Because.
Why? That's not controversial.
Okay, last question. Someone has not seen John Wick. You don't know how they feel about movies. Are you recommending this movie to people?
If they don't like action films, if they don't like fight scenes, which are half of the movie, not half. Yeah, maybe half. No. I would never take anyone that isn't a fan of films like that and recommend that to them.
You're a lot nicer than me then.
I did think that when I was saying, I was like, oops.
You mean you would never make Michelle watch John Wick? 2 weeks into knowing that she doesn't really like
You
action
knew this
movies?
whole time. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Exactly.
it's a job,
I
Michelle.
yes.
So it's
exactly.
a job. So if it's a job, yes. But just for the average movie viewer,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't. Because if they're squeamish, if they're, I grew up on a farm, so
You kill lots of
it's
people.
it's like.
Yeah. Yeah. The farm that you grew up on had random men in 3-piece suits blazing through, killing a bunch of people. And you were like, hey,
It's
that's
the
life.
farm.
That's life on the farm.
It's like, what kind of farm did you grow up on?
I'm just here to be made fun of, that's all.
Welcome to my life.
I would not recommend, because a couple times I recommended movies to people not remembering all the content of the movie, and then they said, oh, why did you tell me to watch this movie? And I thought, oh, indeed, why did I do
that has happened many times with Michelle on this show, where I'll be like, oh, this movie's great, it's wonderful, there's nothing crazy in it, and then she watches it and she's like, Seth, why didn't you tell me
there were cats in this movie that
why didn't you tell me a
not
cat gets
well.
murdered? And I'm like, oh, right. Oops,
I feel like
guess I just didn't register
honestly,
with
the
me.
only movie like this, when I look back, because I like when we'll do like my year in reflection, the only movie will be Tampopo. That you were like, yeah, this movie's
remember?
No. Like that, how I feel that passionately of you being like, no, this movie's great and you should eat with an make sure you get noodles and eat a snack and blah blah. And then I watch it and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I am triggered.
I have a movie.
Yeah.
I have a movie similar to that I really want to do for Halloween, but I don't think it's going to fit with our theme.
Just throw it in there. Halloween's all about fun.
You might be dodging a bullet.
We could do whatever we want.
Michelle, this is the movie I hated the
Halloween
most.
movies are
Let's
not
do
about
another
fun.
one like it.
I know. That's the problem with me. I always say yes.
Michelle, I think my most famous moment in watching movies was Seth talked me into watching Saw with him.
Okay.
And I said, okay, I'll watch it. And then 5 minutes in, I said, I know who the killer is. He said, you do not. I said, yes, I do. He said, tell me who you think it is. So I told him. And then at the end, he just, when the credits rolled, he was like, how did you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know if I talked you into watching Saw. We were both like,
You did
what
talk
movie
me
should we
into
watch? And he was like, oh, let's watch Saw. And neither of us had seen it before, so that was weird.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
What a choice to choose.
Yeah. Oh, this is...
I know.
This is where I come from. This is what birthed me. So, if you have questions, look no further.
Look no further. Oh, you talked me into watching The Shining.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Better movie.
And it made me be terrified of turning 80.
Yeah. Well, it's just around the corner.
I haven't seen that one either, but now noted 80. Oh. And there's twins, right? Red Room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll know.
Oh, no.
Well, Merinell, thank you very much for joining us.
You made this the best episode. This was so much fun.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
No,
I'm not even saying it because you're our guest. This made John Wick so much better.
So I'm not going to ask Michelle now because we'll do that later. But for you, if you were rating this 1 through 5 stars, what are you rating it? Also, is this a movie, or a film?
When I hear you guys talking about that, I have no idea what you're
Neither do
Yeah, we don't either.
At one point, Michelle was recommending different rating systems, and she literally said, or like a grape system, like 3 grapes.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, grapes? And she's like, yeah,
grapes,
I don't know.
2 grapes or 1 grape?
Yeah.
I give it 3 grapes.
Yeah.
No, I give it a 5.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I do. I give it a 5 if you like action. I'll say that.
Right.
It wouldn't be a 5 for somebody that only watches rom-coms.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And,
Okay.
you know.
Next time you do a Keanu Reeves movie,
We know who to
ask me
who
back.
to call.
Okay.
Did you see the movie Keanu with
Speed.
the cat?
Oh, Speed. That's what we were talking about. And we
I've
went back
never
to
seen it. So
Speed. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
you would like that, I think.
Okay.
Because it's kind of
Careful.
a rom-com on the fly.
Ooh.
Wow.
I
don't
love the
know.
way that's like marketed. A rom-com on the
A
fly.
rom-com
it's-
on the fly.
It's
That's
Sandra Bullock.
enticing.
Who doesn't
She
love
is-
her?
she is
She's
great.
great.
Two people pushed together by terrible circumstances.
Just like Romeo and Juliet for the modern age. Okay, did you watch this with Dad, by the way? Because I was asking
Yes.
if Michelle watched this with Anthony.
I'm pretty sure he slept through a lot of it,
Okay.
which he does even when we go to the theater. He falls asleep and starts snoring, and I have to elbow
Sure.
him and try to get him awake. But his statement was this: a chance encounter could change the rest of your life.
Whoa. Maybe he should write titles for movies.
Oh yeah, I've always told him he should be in
good.
advertising.
Huh.
That's
He comes
good.
up with jingles, jingles, and catchphrases.
Well, on that note, get it?
So be careful on your chance encounters.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking? Why are you warning me all of a sudden? All right. Yes, on my chance encounters, I will not steal someone's car and kill their dog. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the lesson.
That's the don't
I always like to leave people with a lesson, with a life lesson.
don't do it. Okay. Anyway,
Don't do it.
thank you very much, and
You're welcome. Thank you for
Thank you.
having
I'll
me.
see you in a few years.
I hope there's 5 minutes that you could use.
We're using all of this.
Yeah. Okay, wow. Michelle,
That's so
how was
much
that?
fun.
Talking to my
That was
mom.
so much fun. I love your mom so much. I love how much she loves action movies.
Yeah.
I love her wisdom. She's so funny. And also, like at the top of the show, you asked about Fast and Furious, like us covering it as a Patreon show.
Yeah.
And we were like, no, but like if your mom wanted to do it, I'm there. I would only do it with your mom.
That's actually not a bad idea. Little mini series going.
Because it's so delightful.
The fast.
Like I was crying laughing when we were recording with your mom.
the
I love it
fast
so
and
much.
the motheress, we could call it.
You know what? We could workshop names at another time.
Okay. Hey, send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know. Do you want to see the fast and the motheress? So some quick facts. The movie was made for between 20 and 30 million. I kept seeing very different. Some places were adamant like $20, and they were like, no, it was more.
$20?
Oh yeah, well that would be pretty impressive. Made 86 million at the box office. So either way you slice it, pretty good. 86 on Rotten Tomatoes. It did hold a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes for like a while. Like when this movie came out, it was very much like, wow, okay, Keanu is back. Action is back, you know. 3.8 on Letterboxd, 68 on Metacritic, which seemed pretty low. The audience score on Metacritic was 80, which seems more in line with its reputation. So we reached out to some people on Twitter to ask what they thought, and we got more responses on this movie than any movie we've ever done.
Really?
For real. And so if you submitted some responses, I'm sorry, I literally cannot read all of them. It would be a 30-minute thing. So I had to just pick a few. Amanda H. at Beatrix Kiddo, with an E on the end. Kiddo.
Kiddo don't.
She says, I've never been able to look at Toby Leonard Moore quite the same way after the wee little shorty robe he wears in the movie. And I just loved wee little shorty. Yeah.
Wee little shorty.
On Instagram, by the way, if you're not following us on Instagram, what are you doing? You're missing out.
So much goodness.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff. Like, if you only follow us on Twitter, you are not getting... You're getting like 10% of what we're putting out there.
You're pretty much only getting Seth.
Right, exactly.
Which is pretty great if you're into that.
Instagram is more Michelle's realm, but I
But
mean...
I think we're both on there.
I'm
more,
making graphics each week. There's some Photoshop of our faces going on.
Seth is doing great things over there. You gotta come and see it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen our artwork yet for Mad Max 2, please. Anyway, Mars on Instagram at Milunavida.
Whoa.
Yeah. Says, John Wick can do no wrong. He can die, then come back to life, and die again, as long as he never stops. Laugh emoji. Michael Lee Lewis at Michael Lee Louis 4, who we've talked about before, right?
Our friend, yes.
Now, I have to run a quick correction. Last time that he had submitted something, I said our friend from Merry Old England, I believe. That was foolish. He is from Wales. And so
my God, Seth.
I am
How
here.
Embarrassing.
I know. I'm embarrassed. So I'm
Boy,
here.
is Seth's face red right now,
Well,
y'all.
my face is always a general shade of red, but so anyway, Michael said, I didn't mind these. I'm not usually an action guy, but these I can put up with. One thing you can take away from these movies, though, is don't mess with people's pets.
Very true.
Very true. Duncan, part 2.
Like, oh, never mind. Never mind.
What?
I don't know why I was going to say that.
What? I'll take it up.
You know how, like, weird association, when I
Sure.
heard that, I heard of, like, it made me think of, like, Dunstan Checks In.
Sure.
Remember
Well,
that
it's the
movie?
same syllables. Dunstan checks in, Duncan part 2.
Duncan 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, stay tuned for an episode on Dunstan Checks In when we do Jason Alexander month.
If we do that, we have to have my sister on. Sam was in love with the kid, Eric Lloyd.
Okay.
Like, a weird obsession with him.
Well, okay. That
Yeah.
was not what I thought was going to be said. Anyway, so Duncan part 2. I think it's a reference to Dune part 2 coming out. Yeah. At Duncan S21, which leads me to think of like season 21.
Yeah.
Says, it's a great example, I think, of an action movie drawing non-action audiences. I usually gravitate away from action. The hype and Keanu got me in theaters, as I assume happened to many. And then the action works in a way that clicks for people not usually attracted to action. Later on, in a different tweet, he also said, I think it was a perfect storm. Cast anyone else, and it doesn't go as well. Have anyone but Stahelski and Kolstad at the helm, and it doesn't go as well. Have action movies in the previous decade be better, and it doesn't go as well, etc. And that was a really, really good point. I think that people were ready for something different, much like what happened with The Matrix. Like, The Matrix was huge, and if you look at, like, 90s action, there's great stuff in there, but there's nothing like The Matrix. And if you look at John Wick, everything that was coming prior to that, and then everything that comes after that, it was... people were ready for something different. So I thought that was a really good insight.
Yeah, that is good.
Real Fanatic. You're going to love this one. So it's Real, R-E-E-L, right?
Uh-huh.
Real Fanatic at Fanatic Real.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that great?
That's great. Like,
Says,
it's great.
I know, it's great. Says,
Yeah.
an instant action classic. And I also agree with that. When this movie came out, it was like just universal, like, acclaim and praise.
Wow. I wonder where I was.
In 2014?
I mean, around, I guess.
Yeah.
Not paying attention to John Wick, apparently.
All right, so I need to shout out this next person, Kristen. First off, her handle is at Maid of Monsters, which I think is that's a really good name.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Bravo.
So Kristen at Maid of Monsters. I would encourage everyone to go and like find the tweets that I posted or that Movie Friends Twitter posted and just go in there and read through all of Kristen's comments. So she watched all of the movies, I think, in a short span of time this year. And so she was just giving like really good insights and like asking really good questions. I picked like a few things that she said, but like genuinely she was going off on John Wick in a good way, like really great way. So unfortunately, Kristen, I don't have time to read everything, so I picked a few things here. She says John Wick was best when making menacing eye contact. The fear in others was so great. Best kill was in the red circle when he knifes the guy and stares him dead in the eyes as his spirit leaves his body.
Whoa.
John Wick 2, 3, and 4 suffered from not enough death gaze. She says the Daisy bit was bold but necessary, and I agree. The best kills were intimate and brutal. Alfie is amazing and should have earned an Oscar for the range of emotions he displays while on the run through the club in a towel. I love the part where Keanu marches towards him in slow-mo with the intense eye contact. It is all about the eyes. And then she also asked favorite death, favorite fight, and favorite hair. And so I'll go first while you're thinking of all those things. I think that Alfie, his death was definitely my favorite because it's not long and drawn out and there's not like this big like showdown between the two people. He just starts to be like, it was just a duh. And John just shoots him and it's over. I appreciate any kind of departure from movie tropes. And like, while this is like this is not a realistic movie. I very much appreciated that. Favorite fight would probably be the initial fight in the home. I think that's pretty great. And then favorite hair, I don't know if I like really noticed anyone's hair in this movie, so I'm just going to say John Wick. Or as I like to call his hair, John Slick.
Well,
If you don't have an answer, you can
I
just
don't.
say ditto.
well, I was gonna say the death of Theon
Yeah.
for sure, and I did like the invasion of the home and John Wick, handling it.
Yeah.
The hair I didn't really notice either.
Yeah.
I'm trying to I'm going over hair. I didn't think any hair was super noticeable to be written down.
All right. Well,
Is this a thing? Is the hair talked about in the John Wick universe?
I don't know. I mean, it is in Kristen's.
Wow, Kristen.
Yeah.
I love the viewpoint.
Yes. So those are some folks that we know. We're now going to go to a segment of the show where we hear from people that we don't know. It's called Half Star, 3-Star, 5-Star. So these are reviews from letterboxd.com. We start with a half-star review, which is the lowest rating that you can give a movie. And we go all the way up to a 5-star review, which is the highest rating that you can give a movie. In the half-star review, I'm going to read in a Keanu Reeves voice.
I'm excited.
Okay.
As always.
One of the worst movies I have ever seen. The whole plot is, guy's puppy gets killed, so he goes on a murderous rampage the rest of the movie. Ugh. So brainless. Sure, I know some will say it's about the action. Sorry. I can't sign up for brainless macho action no matter how good that action is. Yes, I saw the PG-13 version of this, but honestly, if all you have going for you is sex, language, and violence with no real good acting or plot, I am out.
Half-star.
Very
Oh my
good,
gosh.
Seth.
Okay, 3-star review just says Willem DeFriend.
Or Willem Dafoe.
Yes.
Remember DeFriend Dafoe?
Yeah, it turned out to be Willem DeFriend.
Yeah.
And the 5-star review says, if you're looking forward to watch a truly action-packed movie, this is the one to go for. With minimal dialogues, crisp direction, and storytelling, the action speaks most of the plot. Movie has emotions, action, a bit of a thrill too, but nothing is overdone. Everything is mixed up in right quantity and is pretty objective. 5 stars.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, you've seen the movie. You talked about it with my mom. What are you rating this movie? Is this a schmovie, a movie, or a film?
Okay, well, I'm rating this a movie,
Okay.
and it's 3 stars.
Okay. Yeah.
Solid 3.
Sure.
I think I've rated all the action movies 3 stars.
Hey, that's okay. You know, it's not really your thing.
I know, which is very like middle of the ground.
Well, I
Middle of
mean,
the road, not the ground.
well,
It's the same thing.
yeah.
The road is on the ground.
Right. Right. It's not negative.
No, it's not in the negative.
Right.
No.
So I agree with you. I think that this is also a movie. And while I do think that it's pretty entertaining, definitely taken into context where action movies were at the time, Keanu's magnetism. I really like this movie, and I plan on watching the other ones. I don't think that this is like the out and out masterpiece that everyone else seems to. So to me, I'm going to rate this movie 4 stars.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll accept it.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome.
So next week is going to be insane.
What?
Yeah. So it's the last week for Action Month. And so far we did like a martial arts movie, we did a car movie, we did a gun movie, and now we're going to kind of dip into like a different category of action movie. When we had started planning the show, last year before we kind of premiered, one of the things that you wanted to do like B movies or even C movies or like so bad it's good movies.
Did I request that?
Oh yeah, you were very into the idea at the time.
What? Wow, I wonder what headspace I was in for that.
I could not tell you. So anyway, this is for you.
Okay.
And I just want you to temper your expectations because this is definitely a love it or hate it
Right.
kind of thing.
Got it. Okay.
So we're going to talk about Miami Connection from 1987. It's directed by Y.K. Kim and Richard Park Woo-sang. It's 86 minutes, currently streaming on Roku, on Freevee, Plex, and Mubi. And yeah, it's a really fun time. But you need to, I don't want to say too much, but you definitely need to kind of go into it ready for some silliness or just ready for it to not be like a movie that is going to like knock your socks off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that because that's me most of the time when I have to watch a movie.
Right. We'd love it if you'd give us a rating and a review. And remember, it enters you into a $50 Visa gift card extravaganza. Be sure to be following us on Twitter, Instagram. Send us a screenshot of your review. Also, consider supporting the show, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. It's $5 a month. You get access to 3 additional shows, including Weirdcast, our episode-by-episode recap of Freaks and Geeks. Super Amazing Film Club, where we talk with people that we love about movies that they love. This month we did Romeo and Juliet, Baz Luhrmann, with our good friend and patron Cosmo. That was really fun.
It was fun. Yeah.
We've also got Ghibli Gabs, where we're going through the movies of Studio Ghibli one at a time. Michelle's watching them for the first time, and it's delightful. They are quite charming.
They're cute. What?
Anyway, thank you very much for listening and for sharing the show and everything that you guys do. We really we love our listeners.
We do. You're the best part.
Yeah, we love you.
That was weird, Seth.
Anyway, thanks, Michelle. This was fun.
Thanks, Seth.
Shout out to my mom. That was fun, too.
Yeah! The MVP of this episode.
All right, until next time when we're talking about Miami Connection, thank you for listening. Have a good one.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Music by Anthony Vicora. If you like the show, please subscribe and give us a rating. It really helps us find new friends. Thanks!